Hi, I'm Thomas Anthony Jones. You might know me from Good Trouble or This Is Us. I encourage you to watch The Michael Finkley Show on Roku TV and on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe.
Just to make it, just to make it. I've been working all my life just to make it, just to make it, just to make it.
Welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. Thanks for joining us today. Y'all, I hope that everyone had an awesome Easter Sunday and also Easter Monday too. I tell you, I went home to spend time with my family. I was with my mom, my stepdad, my sisters, my niece, my nephew, and just having that time with them, sharing, laughing, just being around them. It was the break I needed from everything else that was so demanding in my life. Just sitting back, relaxing, not having to, I didn't even bring my laptop with me, which was so brand new for me. So just sitting there, just relaxing, just chilling out. It was just an amazing feeling. So y'all, we know we're trying to build empires, we're trying to build our brand, but take some time off for yourself, I tell you, or your body is gonna say, hey, you know what, it's time for a break, and it's gonna do it for you. Okay, been there, done that. So just start taking some time for yourself. I promise you, it's worth it. You're re-energized and you can get back to work. Tell you, do it if you're not already doing it. I'm practicing what I preach. Finally, I'm practicing what I preach. We are continuing on with our celebration of celebrating our black males, and we're continuing on with Calvin Logan and Digga Jones, two persons that have great platforms and they share their wisdom and knowledge with us today. So don't you go away. We'll be right back. Coming up, we have Calvin Logan with us. We'll be right back. Next, Finkley, founder of Get After It Now, is Eric Foster. And motivational speaker Cedric Edison is with us on the next Michael Finkley, Friday.
Hey everybody, my name is Arthur Vernon R. Matthews Jr. I just wrote a new book called Family Ties, and I also want to say a special shout out to one of the kids that I mentored and has got his own TV show on Roku, Michael Finkley, and this is 100th episode. So if you guys want to really hear about this book and see what's going on, check out Mike Finkley on The Finkley Show.
She is flexible and she is a multitasker. She is a wife, a mom. She is city councilwoman.
When I was growing up, Mom worked outside the house, and so my dad was an entrepreneur. I saw him leaving early in the morning or late at nights to go meet with clients, and he was always one who told me, if you show up on time, you're late.
I just admire how she's able to not only juggle the demands of her jobs, but keep her family really first.
The outstanding thing about the Isaac family is their noble contributions to improving the quality of life for our Colombians and people all over this state.
I, Tamika Isaac, do solemnly swear.
Discharge the duties thereof, so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and best wishes.
I first ran because I saw a need, I saw a void that needed to be filled, a voice that wasn't there. And over the last several years, I feel like I've been able to be that voice.
So often as women in whatever spaces that we're in, we are often discounted because we're a mom or we're a wife or we have this career, and she's an everyday woman who shows women what excellence looks like.
She has walked the walk of being a small business person, of being a parent, of sending her kids to school.
Columbia is a great place, and we have done a lot in the last few years as far as law enforcement. But law enforcement can't do everything, nor should it do everything. We have to really expand upon the tools, technology, and community policing, investing in our communities so that law enforcement is a partner with our communities. being a Columbia native, I've seen the way this city has grown. It's grown to the point that sometimes not everybody's been a part of that growth. I want to make sure that communities, specifically communities of color, make sure that they are part of Columbia's present and its future. I want to have a climate plan for this city that not only helps us be sustainable, but also helps provide opportunities for folks in the workforce. There are so many opportunities to take advantage of technology, green energy. I want to be the advocate for growing our city and being on the forefront, not just looking at what other cities are doing and following them, but being the leader.
If you don't have the right leadership, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities.
I think having a woman as mayor of the city of Columbia is long overdue.
I'm Tamika Isaac Devine, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Columbia.
Everybody, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Our next guest, he is a talk show host. He's a minister. He's a father and a loving husband. And y'all, we're speaking with Calvin Logan. Calvin, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a blessing just to be on your show. Hey, the Michael Finkley Show. I'm moving on up.
Stop it. Stop it. Now, y'all, we met through social media, and I just been following him. He has his own platform. I was just on it last week, and it was just amazing. So I'm like, you know what? I want him on my show. So that was your time, sir. Thank you again for taking time to chat with us. So, Calvin, we know that life and death lies in the power of the tongue. So when did you know that your tongue had power?
It's a great question to ask. My tongue, I realized, had power at an early age, early childhood, when my mother and my father said you had a calling on your life. So I took it as salvation. I was like 6 when I accepted the Lord as my Lord and Savior. From that time, it felt like challenges arise, filled with the Holy Ghost at 8, and realizing the importance of how your words, death and life, in the power of the tongue, Proverbs 18:21. So from that point, I have been trying to mature it. And as you can see, as time has evolved, so hey, I'm excited for what God is doing.
Wow, I tell you, that maturity, that influence that you have with yours these days, you're making a difference. And so you brought that same influence to our televisions, to our computers, to our phones as the Logan Power Show. Please tell us how this platform got started.
Yes, the Logan Power Show was October of 2014. I met a gentleman by the name of Spencer Jones, my producer at that time. He had told me that I had the gift of gab. So you need to be on television. I'm like, well, that ain't gonna happen. Don't think that's part of my calling for my life. He said, man, you great. So 2014, we had a pilot in September of 2014, got a contract with CW. And you know, when you start a show, like, as you know, you have to go through a lot of the ups and downs. Yeah. So it was a transition for me. There was a lot of challenges. You still face challenges today. We're on our 7th year. October, we are 7th year in 2021, so 7 years strong. I don't get involved with competition, but since then, we have evolved. If you go onto the Logan Power Show, check out our website, www.loganpowershow.us. You'll see us on YouTube. You'll see how our shows evolved and how I look a little different. And the biggest thing, it's been a blessing. So it's 2014, haven't stopped. Every place that we filmed was literally in a church or a building of like an office. So pretty much every show that we've done, majority before COVID, was really in a building, and mostly was in a sanctuary. So God's been good.
Amazing. And so I tell you, we all define success differently these days because it's a personal thing for different people. And so how do you define success within this platform that you have for people to watch?
Success is really determined on what the Lord tells you. Success is based off a journey. I know a lot of times people say, well, if you haven't made it on the big time networks, you're a nobody. Well, if that's the case, then YouTube wouldn't be around. You wouldn't have these other
Exactly.
type of platforms, Netflix, the Hulus. Sometimes it just a matter of what you put in, and
Yeah.
like the Bible talks about, you go after the one that's lost, and the 99 don't worry about that. So it's pretty much, you say, if you got one person that would hear you, then you're making a difference. And doesn't matter how big your following is. Stay humble and act like you got millions of viewers, and then if you make your voice and your words uh impactful in the time of who you speak to, then hey, God gonna take it to another level.
Yeah, he handled the rest. He will definitely handle the rest. And so let's talk about those persons that you interviewed over these 7 years. How have they blessed you?
They've blessed me by either coming back, blessed by donating the show. The Logan Power Show, we go by donations. That's what keeps us going. Majority of 80-90% of the money comes out of my own pocket. It's
Mhm.
not, and living off donations.
Yeah.
We don't get caught up in, hey, if you don't got everything you have. There's plenty of guests that can tell you that didn't have it, but we let them get on. People have blessed us, donated to us, and that's what we go by. So donate, please do. We stay humble. We know that our time is coming to get bigger and growing, and it just takes a matter of time. It just takes one particular show will really just catapult you to where you would be. I mean, you think about some of the greatest talk shows from Arsenio Hall. If you think about guys like that, no one thought a guy would be doing all this, would be very successful. Steve Harvey's had a show. If you think about people, Ellen DeGenerate has had a show. If you think about even pastoral leaders, Bishop T.D. Jakes has his, Apostle Ivy Hilliard, name it, so on and so forth. People's had a platform. So just be you. Be what God has called you, real you. Don't try to be somebody else. If you be what God has called you to be, then hey, that's all that matters.
Mm. Be you. And that is a message that everyone needs to hear, no matter what you're doing, is to be you. So, what are those future plans for your platform and for yourself?
The future platforms, I'm excited. Movies and TV series. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm focusing on. And also putting other platforms and being behind the scenes as a producer, things like that. Definitely, as I said, I love to collaborate with you, Mike, so that we can do other things, other projects. I've learned that it takes a village to be
Definitely.
successful.
Definitely.
You can't do it by yourself. But that's where I'm at. I want to do movies. I want to do TV series. I believe I got a lot of stories that I would love to put out. That'd be different. Try to change the identity of a male. I know a lot of times we say that a male is he's got a split personality. He lives a double life. Like he say he's a heterosexual, then he's something else. Or like for instance, he say he loves the Lord, but his life and his character doesn't match. So I want to bring the male back into the figure. I want to bring the husband back onto the forefront. I want to bring the father back into the picture. I want to have movies to where it's clean. We should have family moments. I believe a parent should not have to always look up the rating, double check it, flip the book, say, okay, is this G rated? Is this? If you watch a lot of shows now, um, everything is up in the air. You will never like you hear shows where hey, this person's got two moms, two dads. You'll hear things about well, hey, uh, I believe this, I believe all these type of things, these things that I don't believe. And you're
Mhm.
saying like that's a children's movie. Like, wow, like back in the day that was like considered to be an upper grade of, as you would say, age limit of maturity,
Yeah.
because sometimes kids have a ton of questions when they say, hey mom, dad, what does this mean? I don't understand this. I never seen this before. And you had that dialogue. As a parent, I never say to not have that open dialogue with your child, but I believe a child should be a child and grow, but not be exposed to so many things. And that's why the internet, in a lot of ways, it is very helpful, but then also could be hurtful, is because you really have to guard what your children watch and what your family brings into the home.
Right. Right. Definitely. Whoa, sir, when you start producing your sitcoms and your projects, let me know. If I can be a part of that, let me know. Hint on hint. So definitely
Absolutely.
that's an amazing dream. That is definitely an amazing dream. And so encouraging words, my friend. You started this platform 7 years ago. And I know going forward, something that probably was very foreign to you, very new, right? And 7 years later, you're doing an amazing job. So you grew to love what you do. So I want you to just talk to that person that is having those doubts of starting, right? They want to start, but they're like, people, I don't know what you're going to think, what they're going to say, or going to watch, all that kind of good stuff. So what would you tell that individual?
First thing I would say, if you're a believer like myself, get in your prayer closet and ask the Lord to tell you where you need to go for anything. If it's a business, a dream that you have. Another thing is write it down. The biggest problem that we have in today's society is that the answers to the actual formulas in the book. Create a vision board. I got one. Something you got to look at. What is you want to accomplish? And then if you haven't accomplished it yet, keep it up there. Remember, your vision board is there. Like I got stuff that I've accomplished in 2020, but I haven't accomplished something I've accomplished 2021. So my vision board from last year is still up there because I'm still not where I need to be at. So it's a constant reminder. It's like, you see back in the day, we see a person say, well, I want to be the greatest basketball player, sports figure, or whatever it is. I don't, if you want to be the greatest entrepreneur, find somebody you put on the board or a symbol or an image of that business and say, okay, I'm going to be that one day. I'm not going to copycat. I'm just going to be that person. And that what it does is it creates a sense of faith in you because you're saying to yourself, I can do this. And that is what I would tell somebody. Do not get caught up in what you see. If you think about it, I'm going to name 3 things that people, let's go 25 years back. 3 things that people, if we were to think about it right now, that you would have said, if you talk to somebody from 25 years ago, what would be there? 3 things. 1, Amazon. 2, Apple. 3, Microsoft. Those 3 things 25 years ago, if you told me that, man, if I go order something on Amazon, it would be here in a split of a second. I can get stuff on a Sunday. I can order a package and it's there. I get anything I want. You be saying you're dreaming. Apple, I got a MacBook. I got an iPhone. I got an iPod. Apple Watch. The possibilities. Microsoft. When Microsoft came out, no one thought with Word and Excel, all these things would be something that's be very beneficial. Publisher, Outlook, PowerPoint. You think about those things. Those are just 3 things, and those are like 2 of them. All 3 are 2 of them are $1 trillion companies. They hit the $1 trillion mark. Another one is close to it, but all 3 of those CEOs had dreams, and all those dreams people laughed at. And I've always said this: you got to be careful. Another 4th one, Google. If you'd told me Google would be the #1 search engine from 25 years ago, someone said you're lying to yourself because AOL had the game on lock.
Yeah.
They had it. If you know back in the day, AOL had the CDs. They put them in place. Back in the day, the internet was real slow, dial up. And if you known that Google, a search engine, would be the actual cornerstone for education with the Chromebooks, with certain programs, if they said that'd be the Gmail be the cornerstone for emails. Google.com, search it, you got it. Those are the things that I love. So I say dream big. I say this: if God has a plan for you, this is how it works. Any plan that God has for you, number 1, your bank account will not be able to, you don't have it financially. Number 2, you don't have the bodies on day 1. And number 3, you say to yourself, I don't know if I got the time to get it accomplished in my lifetime. So those are the 3 things you ask yourself. When God gives you a purpose, number 1, you don't have the finances. Number 2, you don't have the bodies. And 3, you got to build your faith. Say, do I have the time to last long enough for it to come to pass?
Wow. Mic drop on that. Definitely words to live by, Calvin. One more time, how can they find you on social media?
Social media, look up the Logan Power Show, TheLoganPowershow. Our website, www.theloganpowershow.us. Email us at theloganpowershow@gmail.com. You'll find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You find us on YouTube. You find us on LinkedIn. We have no, we don't stop. And then also you'll find that you can always call us at 843-697-5545.
All right, you heard it here, and all your information is in the description below. Y'all, and please go support this man. Subscribe to his channel, watch his shows. He has some great content. Y'all, being in 7 years, y'all, he's got it. Thank you so much, Cal, for being with us and sharing your words, your wisdom, and your knowledge.
Amen. Well, again, I thank you again, Michael. And hey, y'all be tuned in. The Michael Finkley Show, where he builds an experience, builds expectation, and will take you to your next journey for God's true revelation. So stay tuned. The Michael Finkley Show. Hey, the Logan Power Show. We're keeping it locked.
There you go. We'll be right back. Next, we have Digga Jones. Don't you go away.
I'm Catherine Sutherland. And I'm Nakia Baris. We encourage you to watch The Michael Finkley Show on Roku TV and YouTube. Don't forget to click and subscribe.
Looking for a mentoring program for your young male between the age of 6 and 18 in Columbia, South Carolina? Well, look no further. Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program is the program for you. Under the leadership of Mr. Jamal Stroud, Big Homie Little Homie is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that caters and mentors at-risk youth that come from single-parent homes. The organization caters to young males between the ages of 6 and 18 within the greater Columbia area. The organization is devoted to shaping and molding their life into great men of society. Big Homie Little Homie organizes male gatherings, discussions, and even educational assistance devoted to guiding and leading them into a positive light. Making a positive attitude will help in transforming their life regardless of what is experienced in life. For more information on Big Homie Little Homie Mentoring Program, visit our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Calling all TRIO, Gear Up, JAG, and other college readiness organizations. Hello everybody, it's Finkley with the Finkley Experience. I am here to offer you information about our College Readiness Cohort Series. This College Readiness Series includes college applications, SAT, ACT prep, scholarships, financial aid, the mental mind state, HBCU versus PWI versus technical colleges, and so much more.
You know, this is helpful because it's actually like making me change my college plan.
Really? If interested, visit our website, thefinkleyexperience.com, or just email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. We're looking forward to working with you. Need a little motivation? Timothy Clifton is with us every week on Mondays to get your week started with a little motivation, all here on The Michael Finkley Show.
What's up, y'all? I'm Leon Frierson, former cast member from Nickelodeon's All That and co-host of the Prime Nostalgia Podcast. And I'm here to ask you to join me in watching The Michael Finkley Show weekly on YouTube. Now, I've been on the show, so I definitely know it's a platform where you'll be educated, informed, and inspired. Now, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on YouTube.
My bossy and my crib.
And welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, y'all, my next guest, he is a father and he's the host of his very own podcast. And y'all, he is just an all-around great guy. Here is Digga Jones. Digga, how are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm great. How are you?
I am super, super well. Thank you so much for being with us today.
No problem. No problem.
I love it. So, sir, you are somewhat of a transplant, right? You were born in Florida and you were raised in South Carolina. How are the worlds different from you?
Believe it or not, the worlds from Florida to South Carolina weren't that different. There was, like any area, just the Southern exposure was there.
Mm-hmm.
When I moved to New Jersey in my 20s and 20s, 30s, that's when I noticed the shift, because it was very polarizing. Because I'm not calling the South racist by any means. They have racist connotations, but it was very harmonious when I went to New Jersey. It was just like, like no separation, no divide, no nothing.
Right. I tell you, major differences, especially if you add the North up there. And we had that conversation before we got started. I was in New Hampshire for 5 years of my life, and what an experience! So we have to go out and talk about it sometime.
Like a culture shock.
Very much so. Very much so. But I'm a Gemini, so I I adapt to my environments very well.
And I'm the sign right before you. I'm a Taurus, so that means I'm very stubborn.
Oh man, I love it. I love it.
When you say you're Gemini, what's your birthday?
June 8th.
My brother's birthday is June 11th, and my ex-wife's birthday is June 9th.
Whoa, so you know what's up.
Oh yeah, you guys are very empathic people. You guys care a lot, but please do not get on the twins' bad side.
You know what? I tell you this, I have not experienced that side fully yet. Because at one point growing up, I lived a very sheltered life, so I was very scary of a lot of things. But as I got older, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I do have that side.
Everybody does.
Yeah, I'm like, this is brand new. I'm 31. I'm just figuring it out.
And like I said, it's very scary once you unleash it for the first time.
Yeah, because
like, is that me?
Right, it scared me.
Right. So everything I'm saying is the truth.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, it is. So what were some of your enjoyments in growing up here in South Carolina?
I think the enjoyment I had the most is, with the weather being the way it was, you can always go outside and play no matter what time of year. There'd be some times where your mom will tell you put a sweater on, but even with the sweater, it still got hot after you played basketball for a certain amount of hours.
Right.
So like even you going to New Hampshire, once you experience your first real winter, how much did you miss the South?
Immediately.
Exactly. Like I've never seen 4 feet of snow in one night.
Right.
Waking up 4 feet of snow and people living lives like it's nothing. And we're seeing this and we're white knuckle driving because we've never seen this before.
And
but yet when it snows down here, let's use the snowstorm of 2017.
Yes.
All roads closed, everything closed off.
Exactly.
You couldn't even get to the grocery store.
Exactly. And that's why I tell people up there, when I was living up there and we had that snowstorm down here, I told them the South knows how to handle the snow. We stay home. We close everything down and we stay home. That's the thing. And what really got to me was, it snowed there the first year, the first year I was there. I'll never forget. It was October 30th, 2011. It was the first snowstorm of the season. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to go to work, right? I'm staying home. And they were like, you gotta come in. I'm like, but my car's buried under the snow, so I can't come. But they're like, so gotta come in. Oh, okay.
They're calling asking where you were.
Right.
Listen, Mr. Finkley, you're scheduled at 9. It's 10:30. Where you at? I'm at home.
Oh.
Nah, fam, you gotta come in.
Don't do that in the South. You're not in the South anymore, sir. Oh, okay, great. That's the way that goes.
Right.
Oh, wow. So as we were talking beforehand, you mentioned the language that everyone understands. How did music fit into your life?
Well, music fit into my life because my dad always went out to sea because he was in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
He would always have tapes and, records at the house. So in order for, us to have like slight bonding time, we would sit there and listen to our dad's tapes, and we would listen to his records. And it, with them being his, it made it feel like he was there. So let's fast forward to when I was a teenager. Like, when I'm able to buy music, you got friends in schools just like, listen to this, check this out, listen to this, check this out. And it didn't matter if you were white, brown, purple, orange. I was always checking out what you were listening to because I had a love for music. And if you ask me today what my favorite song is, it's not the traditional song that you would see a 6'6" black guy listening to. My favorite song is a song by a progressive rock group named Steely Dan, and the song's called Pretzel Logic. So, yeah, music has always been a big center point of my life.
Gotcha. And of course, you mentioned your characteristics. You're a black man, you're 6'6", you don't look it. You're 6'6", you're a black male. What does your blackness mean to you?
What does my blackness mean to me? My blackness means to me, well, for me, before I describe what it means to me, for me, my blackness is a sense of pride. It's a sense of belonging to a group who is somewhat feared by many, admired by most. But what the question was, what does it mean to me?
Yeah.
To me, it means that I am strong. I am invincible. My people has been through what your people can't even walk through.
Yeah.
And that's what it means.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Definitely amazing to hear that. And again, when we were chatting before, we mentioned, what society thinks that we should look like and sound like.
Right.
You as being black male in this society, and you sound the way you sound. Do you get a lot of stares? Do you get a lot of, that's not supposed to happen, sir?
Right. So, and I'll tell you the story that I told, I'll tell your listeners the story I told you right before we started. So there was a situation where I got called for a job. So I call it laying on the charm. You're on the phone. Yes, I can do this, so on and so on. I have had experience with this. It got to the point where they said, well, let's just go ahead and schedule an interview. I get to the interview. The interview starts at 1. I'm always there at 12:30. So I sit down. There's people walking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's past 1 o'clock. These same people are walking back and forth, looking in the lobby, so on and so on. So the receptionist at the desk said, hey, can I ask you a question? I said, yeah. She says, what are you here for? I said, I'm here for the interview. I'm the 1 o'clock. So she makes a phone call, and the same 2 people that was walking back and forth in the lobby come out, and they look at me and just say, Daniel? I said, yes, Daniel Laurie. And I shake their hand, and they looked at me and they said, we'll be right back in a minute. You could tell they went to the back to discuss something. Conducted the interview, and needless to say, I didn't get the job. I'm not blaming it on my race or anything, but I think it played a part of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, especially being in this area where there is the Geechee dialect, there is the Gullah dialect. That's the language of our people. That's the dialect of our people. And it's weird to some people that not all Black people speak that way. So I think it's more so like I use with the whole New Hampshire thing, a culture shock when you actually get a well-spoken Black man, a well-put-together Black man. Not needless to say, I had a suit and tie, but a well-spoken, a well-put-together Black man, they don't know how to handle it.
Exactly. And not only are you a Black man in America, but you're a Black father. Now,
Right.
What type of father are you? How would you describe your parenting skills?
Very stern, because that's how my dad, raised me. I was actually one of the fortunate ones who had both parents in the house.
Yeah.
So my dad always raised me very stern, shake a man's hand firmly, look a man in the eyes, and never take, ish from anybody. So I'm teaching my children to stand tall, stand proud, and I will discipline them if I have to. Is it physical discipline? No. But just the tone of my voice is enough to make them act right.
Well, my father wasn't there, so I had my grandfather, and he had that same impact on me.
Right.
He didn't beat us. He just had to look at us. I remember one time I did something because I hated beatings, so I would run. So when I would come back, he would say, "Give me a hand," and he would just pop me on the hand. That's all he had to do because I knew at the time I let him down. I literally let him down for that moment, and that was worse. That was worse than a
That
beating.
was worse than But
Yeah.
shout out to David Laurie. He beat the hell out of us. He didn't Joe Jackson us now. He beat the hell out of us. Talk about structure.
Oh. Wow. So how are you letting your kids know that, it's okay to have the skin that you're in?
Honestly, I always tell them, because my children are biracial.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell them, go out, do your best. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I just say, you got to remember the Lori name means something. And that's all they need to hear. Because I'm going to tell you something that not that many people know about me. The reason why I'm so hard on my children is because I was very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Lax growing up. A lot of people don't realize I don't have a high school diploma. I've never went to college, but I've always found jobs that required a degree. I've always found jobs that required, just education in general. And I said, look, I had to fake it till I make it. You guys got an opportunity to make something of yourself, because it was hard for me to land all these things. It was hard for me to sit there and kick these doors down. I don't want nobody, I don't want you to kick down doors. I want you to just walk in, pull the knob and walk in. I had to sit there and knock and beg for people to give me an opportunity. I don't want that for y'all. And they understand.
Gotcha. Wow. How old are they?
Okay, Alicia is 18. Now, Leona just turned 16. Aiden is 14. Well, he'll be 14 this year.
Wow. Like, sir, you're not supposed to have kids that old.
Everybody
I'm thinking you're going to say 5, 7, 1, 6.
And, everybody says that. I had my first child at 20. And that I wouldn't call it being young and dumb, because I love Alicia to death. I love being a father. But, the thing about it was, I wouldn't say I was reckless. I was smarter than my parents. Let's say that.
Okay.
So.
Wow. And wow. You're doing an amazing job in that ride.
Thank you.
Definitely. So please, you have this cool podcast that's been around for 4 years. So please tell us about
4
it.
years in September. It's called Digga Jones and Two Guns Tony News and Views. And it's basically about the life of, 30-plus-year-old males in the United States. We do talk about social issues. We do talk about relationships. We started the show talking about music. And, when we had just talked about music, it was a slow burn. So we did a relationship show, and I checked the numbers after the relationship show. After a week, we got 1,000 plus listeners. So I told Two Gun, I said, why don't we do another show based on social subjects and see where the numbers go? After that, we had 5,000 plus listeners. So it was just always, let's just keep, the social setting going, and we'll just throw in music every once in a while. And hold on, I got a message. So you see me flicking up, that means I'm getting a message off my screen. So after that, we just sat there and just talk about what people want to hear. I go to my IG stories, and I'll put out a scenario, and people will discuss the scenario, and that will be the basis of our show topic.
And you've seen growth in those 4 years, as you stated before. So what's next for this platform? What are some of the things that you're trying to achieve next?
One thing that he and I were talking about is starting YouTube, just starting a place where people could see us, visualize us, and, but just like, YouTube, starting on YouTube is so hard. It's so easy, but so hard.
Sir.
Like, it's so easy, but it's so hard, because the thing about it is you got to touch in a pulse of what people want. So, and especially if they're visualizing you, you got to make sure, like, how you got your background and everything set up, right? You're in my bedroom, you see the TV and everything. I don't have that yet. So that's why we haven't started it yet. It's just, I want to get all my ducks in a row before,
Gotcha. Oh, wow. So please tell, you've accomplished so much in your life on these 39 years, right? Yep. You've accomplished so much. What is your biggest next dream that you want to achieve?
I think the next thing I want to achieve is financial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm working hard, I'm putting money away and everything, and I'm trying to look for things to invest in. Because if you don't create a legacy for your children, then what do you have?
Right.
I pass down, hey, look, when I die, I got a Chrysler 300 in the yard. Take that. You know what I mean? That doesn't do anything. Cars will end up, breaking down. I want to create something where either I can give them a nest egg so they can invest in something, or pass down a business, pass down an empire, something. That's my next biggest goal. It's just by 40, I want to be more established than what I am now. And I only got 1 year.
Gotcha. It can happen. Don't underestimate it. It can definitely happen. How can they find you on social media, and how can they listen to your podcast?
Okay, so finding me on social media, there are 2 social media handles. If you go on Facebook and look up Daniel Laurie, that's my personal page. If you look up Digga Jones, that is my show handle. So, like I said, it's the same person, 2 different personalities. If you find me on IG, is at DIGGA 2K6, at Digga 2K6. Digga 2K6 is when I actually started, getting serious about trying to do entertainment. So that's why that year is there.
Gotcha.
And that's those are the only ways to find me on social media.
Okay. And for your podcast?
Oh, podcast. You did ask about that. Look at me dodging questions. Any platform where podcasts are listened to, just type in Digga Jones and you'll see this face right here illustrated. Tap on the podcast and hopefully you like what you hear. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to send you that episode where I gave you your flowers.
Oh, y'all, he gave me my flowers.
Yes.
During one of his shows.
During one of my shows, anybody that has a podcast or a platform that they use to speak upon, I want to give you your flowers while you're here, because you got to understand, and you can ask Mike right here, podcasting is not easy. Booking guests is not easy. People cancel. People, don't know how to talk. People, it's not a hard, it's not an easy. So, you got to understand, I'd rather give you your flowers because I understand the struggle that you're going through. And it's not even a struggle, to tell you the truth. I'm trying to get on your level. I'm trying to, interview people from all that good times. I don't have the connections yet.
Oh, wow. And sir, from my standpoint, you're doing very well. And I can't wait to listen. Y'all, all this information is in the description below. Thank you so much for being with us and telling us your stories through your words. Thank you.
Hey, man, have me back anytime. And you need to get on my show, too.
I'm just waiting for the invite.
Oh, man. That ain't nothing but a word. I got you.
Okay, cool. I love it. We'll be right back.
But wait. In closing, I do want to say one thing. Mm-hmm. Take care of yourselves and please take care of others. If you know somebody going through a hard time, it does not take anything but 5 seconds for you to sit there and text that person or call that person and just say 2 words. Mm-hmm. You good? That's it.
Gotcha.
So that's why I want to leave it.
And that's where we're going to leave it. We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. It's your girl, Trinice from American Idol. And I am encouraging you to tune into the Michael Finkley Show on Roku TV and YouTube.
I'm just not college material. I am tired of school. I'm just not sure what I want to do after graduation. Sound familiar? Welcome to the Prelo Educational Institute. Our focus is to help young people prepare for life after high school. It's never too early to start planting the seed for education, career, and life overall. The Prelo Educational Institute is made up of the following 2 products. The first product is the book titled I Ain't Going to College, A Guide for Life After High School. This is the first book of a series that introduces middle and high school students to a young man struggling to find his way and make the decision about whether attending college is the right choice for him or not. The book has questions inside, and a supplemental curriculum can also be purchased. The newest product from the Prelo Educational Institute is our online course titled Preparing for Life After High School. In this course, students will learn about decision-making, self-confidence, accountability, self-awareness, and many other topics that speak to social-emotional learning. Young people will read a story about a young man who never gave up no matter what the circumstances were. The course is interactive and has questions, quizzes, and video. Do not wait until your child or student is a senior in high school to start planning. Enroll today. To enroll and learn more, please visit www.speakerauthormarlowe.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Toby. You know me from Sister Act 2, Mr. Oh Happy Day, and the hit R&B group City High. I'm welcoming everybody to join and tune into the Michael Finkley Show on YouTube and also on the Greater Works Network on Roku TV. Don't forget to subscribe.
Next Finkley, founder of Get After It Now, is Eric Foster. And motivational speaker Cedric Edison is with us on the next Michael Finkley, Friday. Welcome back. I hope that you learned something from these awesome men. I tell you, they are doing some incredible things, and with their interviews, their stories, their experiences, their platforms. So please follow them. Their information is in the description below. Please follow them. Thank you, Calvin, and also thank you so much, Digga, for being on and sharing your wisdom and your stories. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all, to end out our week of celebrating Black males, we have two awesome speakers. We have Eric Foster and also Cedric Edison with us. Y'all, another show you don't want to miss. So come join us, y'all. I promise you, come join us. If you're not already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show. Ring the bell for notification. We'll send an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And for up-to-date information about what we do here on the show, please visit our website at michaelfinkleyshow.com. Thank you so much for watching. And guess what? We'll see you on Friday. Have a good one.